so the weather here has not been very good, but although you can see right now that it's very sunny, so let me just show you guys. But basically over the weekend it was very stormy, although now the sun's out, which is fantastic. But as you guys can see, the waves on the water, it's still rolling in. It means there's a weather disturbance going on, although we don't have any storm alerts here where I am right now in the island of Marinduque. It just proved a little bit difficult for me to shoot or vlog anything over the weekend because it was very windy and it was very stormy. So anyway, I am now at my bathroom, and let me just mount my camera here. So I am actually planning of going, what? So I'm actually planning of getting new electric fans for one of the rooms here downstairs. So I am going to the store to get some, and this store is actually where I am also able to buy very cheap makeup products. So let's go together, let's explore that, and I think I have a small amount of window of time to play with it later today. Okay, so bear with me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply some sunscreen. And then once I'm through with this, I'm going to scoot over to the store. Hey, Tanner, let's go. Where are we going? Alright, so the store that I'm going to is a few kilometers away from the house, like around maybe 5 or 6, so it's closer to the main town here in Marinduque, and that's usually where we go if we need to buy something needed, because usually what we do is that if we need some stuff here for the house, we buy them in Manila, and then we bring it over here, and then if there's something that we need to buy, like, you know, as an emergency, or if something breaks down and it's been, like, you know, unplanned, we rush there. So anywho, I'm going to get back with you guys once I am there in the store, because I'm about to head out of the property and hitting the national road. So be right back. Alright, so I'm now here, and I'm gonna wear my pink New York hat first, and my pink face mask, because this mask mandate is still on here in the Philippines. So we might as well just follow the rules, and let's go inside. So I've already cleaned up. I've also had some lunch, and what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be trying on the makeup that I bought at GT168 because I have an hour or so that I could spare because I have actually been studying Japanese these past few weeks and it's quite intense. As you guys can see here, so I have a study group later, and even my penmanship in hiragana and katakana and kanji is not that good yet, but I am hoping to get better, but I know it's gonna take some time. But anywho, so let's hop over to where I'll be filming this part of this vlog. It's gonna be here in my balcony in my room, so let's set up. Okay, so I'm gonna sit here right in front of the bougainvilleas. So as I've shown you in my previous vlog, the one that I showed you, my haul that I got from Beautylish, including some of the brushes from the Lotus set of Sonia G. I show you guys some cheap makeup products that I bought while I was here, and after that tryout, I said to myself, I think I want to try more. And truthfully, it's a form of reminiscing for me because back in the day when I didn't have money and I was a pageant queen, I do remember that I would frequently go to like the markets where I grew up in Cebu, and I would buy very cheap and affordable makeup to use for pageantry. And I think the quality has changed. I think it's better now, unlike before that you don't really get a lot of options or colors, but right now there is a lot of very good quality affordable makeup products, and I think I found some good quality affordable makeup products here. So anyway, so what I got, the last time I showed you guys that I got this palette. So this one is a very nice, it has pink and purpley and lavender tone. So this is the #1 eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna swatch this palette. So this is the highlighting powder, and these are the eyeshadow colors. Amazing color payoff, right? Nice quality too, I have to say, but I don't know how it's gonna translate fully into the eyes. So anyway, when I was in 168, I actually bought 2 more eyeshadow palettes. So this one that I have here is eyeshadow palette #3. So as you can see here, we have this very nice blue, and then we have this like bluish silver. We have this nice highlight color. This is a nice green, and this is a very nice taupey brown color. And this is how it's gonna look like when it's gonna be swatched in my arm here. So the highlighting powder, very beautiful. Look at that. How beautiful is that? Amazing. And I also bought 1 more, and by the way, the palettes come with this sponge tip applicators. But anyway, so this is the other palette that I bought, and this is palette #2. So we have a very nice silvery tone here, like a bone tone, and we have this nice warm highlight, and then we have this very nice purple here. This looks to be like a matte color, and this is a nice very dark gray color. And this is how it's gonna look like swatched on my skin. Ooh, how cool is that? Beautiful colors, I have to say. Now these actually cost around 100 pesos per palette. So that's around, how much is a dollar now? $52, I think, or a little bit over $2. So it's not that bad. And looking at the size of each of the pan of this palette here, you get a ton of product. And then I was also very happy on this highlighted blush of sorts, like a highlighting blush. If you can open it, look at that. So I wanted to get more colors, and when I went to GT168 and noticed these makeup products there, I knew that there were a variety of colors that I can also choose. So I got this. I can open it. Okay, so it has a very nice very mauvey tone with nice marbleized gold colors in it, and this is it just says #6, and it's called the Ashley Shine 24K Golden Baked Blusher. So These are actually like, you know, in a baked gelée formula, so which again is quite interesting because for the price of this was, how much is this? 80 pesos, so that's around a little over $1, so maybe $1, almost $2, I think, so $1.80, I think. Okay, and the last color that I have here, again, if I can open it. Okay, so this is the number 4 Baked Blush. So this one is a little bit warmer than the number 1 Baked Blush that I showed you earlier. Look at that. So at least this will work as maybe a bronzer or people with much more, like, you know, tanned skin tones. So we also have that very nice orangey peachy base to it, but it's not as pink as the number 1 blush, and we still have that very nice gold marbleized highlighting powder there. And the dog you can hear barking is my dog Gus, so I don't know what he's doing. Anywho, the other products that I got are these, like, you know, liquid cream blushes, and based on the packaging they look like they could be talismans from Sailor Moon. It's very, very cute, and it says here that it's waterproof. So I'm a little bit scared to use that because, again, I'm not sure about the quality of these products, where they were made, how they were made. And again, waterproof products I'm always wary about because these are the types of product that usually make the skin react. Now, my skin type, I don't really react much to these types of formulas, but I just, like, you know, I just want to be careful with the things that I apply on my skin. Hang on for a bit while I silence Gus, okay? Okay, so let's continue. I also bought these individual lashes from them. So I have an 8mm, a 10mm, and a 12mm individual lash. So they're all flared. And, you know, these lashes are very difficult to find here in the Philippines, and I usually order from Ardell through Beautylish, and I was just surprised that I found them here in the province because in Metro Manila I have a difficulty finding them. So I am very excited to try this. I'm not gonna try this now because I don't have any of my lash glue with me. Although there was some lash glue available, I still prefer to use Duo for sticking in lashes in the eyes. And what else? Also, I went to Watson's, as I've said before, and I also bought some eyeliner because I don't have an eyeliner with me today. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put on some foundation and then we'll take it from there, okay? And I'm gonna be using the Lisa Eldridge foundation today. And although there were actually some, like, you know, foundations available, there were also some, like, you know, concealers. I drew the line in wanting to test those because I'm very picky when I want to use, like, you know, foundations on my skin and on myself. All right, so I'm just going to breeze through applying this foundation, and then I'm going to come back once I'm through. Okay, so that's a nice thin layer of foundation down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try this blush first. So it's a very nice, like, you know, brownie shade, like it's the color praline. And oh, look at the brush head here. It's like the brush that you use for, like, you know, a manicure. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of it here on my palette, and I'm gonna apply it here also at the back of my hand so that you guys can see the consistency. Nice consistency though. It looks to be very, very thick, and it's also not runny, so it's very creamy in nature. So let's apply some of that on this cheek. And I'm just gonna start by tapping it here all over. I'm not too sure it has a scent, so it doesn't have a scent. It seems that it doesn't, and I'm just tapping it here on my cheeks, and it has this very nice taupey brown color. It also has like a very nice hint of orange and peachiness in it. It's actually quite nice. It feels cooling to the skin as well. And I'm just tapping it here, trying to blend it into the skin and using my fingers to blend it in some more. I can see a little bit of some lifting going on when I tap my fingers. I can see some spots forming on my cheeks. So I think you just have to layer this well. But again, the formula is quite nice. I'm actually quite surprised by it. It's giving my skin a very nice flush to it. Nice color too. Okay, so let's try to see how vibrant the color gets if we layer it one after the other. So this is like my third layer now. And I think it's layering quite well. Color's nice too. I think with the formula, you just have to be very careful with it, and then you just have to mix and blend well. But I can see some lifting going on, so you just have to be very careful with this. And once you add one layer, I think you just have to stop yourself from over blending so that you don't lift out the product from your cheeks. Okay, let's try the other color now. I'm gonna try it here on this side, and it's this very nice pinky color. I wonder how vibrant this is going to be. Okay, so it looks very vibrant here at the back of my hand, but here on the packaging, as you guys can see, it looks quite muted. So let's see how well this will apply on my cheeks. Okay, it's a very bubblegum pink kind of a color. Quite an intense shade, so let me get another brush and let me just blend out the edges. Yeah, unfortunately the formula is not that nice. I mean, the color is still there though, but if you look at it up close, you can see some lifting going on because the product doesn't really stay on the skin. And I was initially worried about this because it says waterproof formula, so I guess if you blend it out and share it out, it would be fine. But I was expecting this blush to actually cling on the skin some more, but then again, this is only what, $1.50, so you get what you pay for. Okay, so I'm just running my brush on this cheek to see if you can blend it. Yeah, you can still blend it. I was expecting it to set after a while, but I can feel it it's feeling a little bit tacky on my skin, but not so bad. So far I'm not feeling any sort of itch or whatever like that, but it does leave a very nice stain on the face. So it's not vibrant, but it's quite skin-like. But I mean, it's okay, but I'm just a little bit disappointed with the lifting that goes on with this blush. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna add some concealer in my under eye area, and I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I'm just gonna apply some of that here and here. But I'm kind of liking though how this color looks very nice and flushed on my cheeks. Works well with the undertones of my skin. This is nice, very natural looking. If only the formulation was a little bit better, I would be so glad that I got this. Okay, so I'm just gonna set my under eye concealer with some translucent powder. And I'm gonna run a little bit of the translucent powder all over my cheeks because I'm gonna be using some powder blush on this later. Okay, I'm gonna add some powder on my nose just to set that and to bring down the shine a teeny tiny bit. Alright, so I'm just going to bring my camera angle lower. That's the fan that I bought earlier because I'm hunched now because my legs needed to stretch. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to play with my eyes, and on one eye I'm going to be using maybe these two eyeshadow colors because they look very, very similar to each other, and there's also one matte color here, and maybe on this eye I'm going to be using the deeper shade. So I'm just gonna play it by ear, and let's just see how it looks like on the eyes. Okay, so I'm gonna be starting by using this very nice like lavender kind of a color, and I'm picking up quite a good amount of the color here on the back of this brush, and I'm just gonna tap it all over my eyelid. Okay, so this seems to be a matte color. It's looking very nice as well, and it has this very nice brightening quality to it, which I'm so surprised. Okay, I'm just gonna flip the brush over so that I can get the color into my socket line. Okay, and I'm going to blend it out a bit. And this is a very nice base color, I have to say. And I'm not using any eye base actually today because I didn't bring any. So what we're doing right now is we're actually trying to get to know if this eyeshadow palette is going to have amazing staying power on the eyelids, and also like, you know, amazing application of color. All right, so next I'm gonna try using this color here, and I'm gonna use this on my socket line as like a transition of sorts. It's a very nice delicate color. It's also quite flattering. It's a nice warm brown to it, and I do have to say that it's actually blending out quite well. That's pretty. Ooh, I love this. I like this. Has like a very nice spring vibe to it. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this color here. So it's just a very nice taupey brown color. Like, you know, so I think this is a nice color to use if you want to like intensify your socket line a little bit or to add more dimension. So let's try that out together. And I also, one thing that I have noticed right now with these types of like, you know, eyeshadow makeup that's available, like, you know, in markets here, is that the quality has also changed, and you have more varieties with the shimmer. Because before, when I buy eyeshadows and they all look very nice, you know, they all look very nice and glittery and shimmery, but like as soon as you apply it on the eyes, you would notice that like even if the pigment of the eyeshadow is blue or brown or like, you know, pink, as soon as you spread it, you can see that it's all like a silver shimmer. So it doesn't really do anything when you want to add dimension into the eyes. But right now I can see that the shimmers here, they have different intensities. They also have different shades. So the shade range is actually amazing already for the price that you're paying for. Okay, that's a very nice color. I have to say it has a very nice, it's a taupey brown, right? And it has a nice gold shimmer in it, which adds like, you know, more light into that part of the eye. So that it's able to actually add some definition and also some drama at the same time, which is actually not bad. Not bad. Okay, so I'm going to scoot over to the other palette now, this palette, and I'm gonna try using this dark brown shade, and I'm going to be using a definer brush for this. Okay, so I'm getting the Sonia G flat definer brush, and I'm just tapping it here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of that here on my lash line so that we have a nice definition of color there. Is it giving me definition? Very light. It's a like, you know, it's a very nice, it's a very grayish brown, cool brown. So it actually can really help to apply some depth and definition on the eyelid. Not bad. So especially if you want to bring it to smoke it out, not bad at all. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up this very nice purplish color here, and I would like to try and add this on my upper lash line just to see if it can add a much more higher impact of color. No, it's not, but it's making my lash line look very nice though. Nice gradation of color, but it's not as intense as I thought that it was going to be. Maybe it's because of like, you know, I'm using a brush, because when I pick it, because when I swatched it earlier with my finger, it looked quite amazing. I was able to smoke it out a bit, but it's not giving the same intensity as it is on my upper lash line. Let me add some more, just pressing it so that it becomes smokier. Okay, so it's coming out. So it takes a while. Like, you know, if you want to have a much more pop of color on the lash line. Okay, so I'm gonna bring some of this color into my socket line, and let's see if that will intensify it and add more depth in that area. Because what's so appealing with these, like, you know, very affordable eyeshadow makeup palettes is that they look very amazing on the palette. But sometimes when you start applying it on your eye, you get very disappointed because most of the time you get more shimmer on the eye than pigment. But I do have to say I'm quite surprised on how easy it is to build up these eyeshadow colors and to mix them together. And although the pigmentation is not that good, you're actually able to build it up and you're actually able to dress up your eye as necessary. I'm actually liking this eyeshadow color. Okay, so let me just blend out that edge a teeny tiny bit because I wasn't expecting that to happen. Then I'm gonna get the definer brush and I'm just gonna define the outer V portion of the eye, of my eye. Okay, so I'm actually able to dress up my eye with this palette, but it just takes a while. Okay, and I'm getting this highlight from the #1 palette. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit of it here. Not too much because this has already this palette has way too much shimmer on them already. And I don't want to add any more. Okay, so now where's that? Okay, so I have here like a black kohl eyeliner pencil. And this is from the brand BYS. So BYS I think is an Australian brand and they have stalls here in the Philippines. And I'm just gonna use it here on my upper lash line. Okay, so that hurt a little bit, so let me try to see if I could melt the tip of this pencil on the back of my hand. And let me just apply it on my upper lashes. Okay, so for a kohl eyeliner pencil, it's not as easy to actually apply on the lashes. It's not that soft. The intensity, it's also buildable, so which is not bad, but this is not a kohl eyeliner that I'm usually accustomed to, wherein as soon as you apply it on your waterline or your eyelids, it blends out fast. But this one, it's okay, not bad. It's also able to add some intensity, so which I'm okay about. So it's not that bad at all, not that bad, especially with the price point of this, which is like around, how many dollars is this? 169 pesos, so $3, a little bit over $3, so not bad, not bad. Okay, so now I want to try the #3 palette on this eye, and I want to use this nice, very sooty kind of a green color as an all over eye color on this eye. And let's just see. Oh wow, that actually looks quite nice, especially here in person. So I'm just gonna tap it here all over my eyelid. Nice intensity of color though. It has a very nice creamy formula as well. And this is the worker brush from Sonia G, and this is the brush that usually I use when I want to create nice smoky eye look. So this is the one that really drags out the pigment all over the eyelid as needed. But I'm just being very careful with it because sometimes the worker brush from Sonia, they're very, very strong and they can tend to create some fallout, especially when you have a lot of shimmer and glitter with your eyeshadow products. The pigmentation on this is quite amazing. I love it. And it's also very easy to blend. Way too easy. Okay, with the same color, I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that here into my lower lash line. It's a very nice blue-green color, like a peacocky kind of a green. It's actually bringing out the color of my eyes. Fantastic, look at that. Nice one and done eyeshadow, nice pigmentation, very, very beautiful. Okay, now I want to try this dark color here, and I'm going to be using the Lotus Soft Definer. It has a very nice, deep, it's not black. I know it looks dark here, but it's not black, but it's a very nice midnight blue kind of a color, which is actually beautiful. And I think this can really work if you want to apply some definition here on the socket line. That was pretty fast and pretty easy. So let's add a little bit of that here on the outer V portion. Oh wow. It's also quite intense. And I'm quite surprised though because it was very easy to apply this color on this eye, but you know, on the other intense color here, on the other palette, like on this #2 palette, like this one, I thought it was going to be intense, but it wasn't as intense as I thought it was going to be. But again, with this color, look at that. You know, I'm just using very light strokes and very small strokes, and it's actually able to help me intensify my socket line and to make my eye look more like, you know, dramatic, I have to say. And what I'm going to do now is whatever is left on the brush head, I'm just going to apply it here on my lower lash line. So I have here the Blender Pro brush from Sonia G, and I'm just going to blend that out. Okay, and just for like, you know, just for play, I'm going to be using this color here. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that, and I'm just going to apply it here in the middle of my eyelids here, just like for some, like, you know, drama and change and shift of color, because as I've said, the green that I used earlier has a hint of blue in it. So the blue silvery color here in the middle can act as a highlight because my eyes is like looking way too dark as I intended it to be. And now what I'm going to do is with the kohl eyeliner, I'm just going to add that all over my lash line, and I'm also gonna apply it here on my lower waterline. Okay, and I'm gonna get this highlighting color here, and I'm gonna apply it here on the inner corner of my eyelid, just so that we can have some light and reflectivity there. It's also quite dusty, so I have to be very careful with that, but the color is very nice, though it does give a very nice pop of color into the inner corner of the eye. And it has a hint of green in it, so it's like a very nice gold green color, so it works well with the color story of the palette. You know what, I do love the color story of these two color palettes because I think it works very nice with brown eyes like mine, but I wished the pigmentation was more intense. But then again, for the price of it, I won't get that. But I got that with this eye palette here, the one with the nice green and then like this nice midnight blue color story. Very nice though. So I wish that this palette had this kind of a pigmentation. But anyway, okay, so for the blush, I would like to use these big blushes for us today. So I'm gonna use this very nice, like, you know, golden peachy kind of a color on one side, and I'm just going to swirl my Yachiyo brush on top of it. And as you guys can see, it did pick up quite a ton of pigment. And let's see how well this will apply and deliver color into the cheeks. This is a very nice, like, you know, orangey base color to it. But I can also see a lot of the gold shimmer going on. So it can act as a nice blush and highlighter color at the same time. So I think this is a nice product to use if you want, like, to use it like as a blush topper. Like if you've used like a very matte blush and you just want to add some life and dimension into the cheeks, this will work. This is also very nice, and this adds a very nice hint of warmth on the cheeks, which I actually like. And I love that the colors are working well together, and like, you know, the orangey tones here is just like, you know, emphasizing my eyeshadow color because of the blue tones in it. Very nice, very pretty. I like this. Okay, now on this side, I'm gonna be using the Mauvey blush tone now, the one that's the color of wine. So this is the color pigment that we picked up on the brush head. And I'm just gonna swirl it here on the cheeks. Oh wow, this is a nice color. I have to say it works well with the green undertones of my skin. Works well as a tonal color for the eyeshadow. Although the blush falls more into the violet side of the color wheel because the eyeshadow is more purpley, but they kind of like work together very well, very nicely. And then the shimmers, you know, the shimmer, I'm looking at it here up close. It's not as chunky as the shimmers here on the other palette, but both are very nice and very lovely. I have to say, I'm so surprised. I love these two. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the other highlighting blush that I got. So the one with a lighter pink color. So I'm just gonna add this here just for some dimension, you know, just to add more color and life. Very nice too. Okay, so that had like a lot of like, you know, chunky glitters in it, because you can really see it here on the cheeks, and it's giving my skin a very nice, like, you know, reflective, chromy kind of a feel. Very nice though, I have to say. So these three blush highlighters, these three are a win-win for me. The cream liquid blushes, not so much. And as for the eyeshadow palettes, I like this palette more, the number 3 palette. Very nice pop of color, very intense, very beautiful. This one, the number 2 and the number 1, it's also very pretty, but I wish it had more pigment in it, because it had more shimmers than pigment, so you can't really add some definition to it. Unlike this palette, you know, with just 2 colors, I was actually able to dress up the eye and make it look very, very intense, fairly fast, and very easy. So yeah, so I guess this is my vlog for today. I have to go now, guys, because my study group is happening already. I am already seeing a lot of drop down alerts from my schoolmates. So anywho, that's it. If you have any more questions about all the products that I used today, please leave them down in the comments box and let's have a conversation about it, although I'm sure you can't get it anywhere else. But anyway, I just hope that you enjoyed me showing you how I play around with makeup stuff when I find them. So anywho, that's it from me today. I'm gonna let you guys go now. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that you're having a good day wherever you are. Bye.